Hello, devs of Build. We are back on the live stage. And this time, I have two of my favorite friends in the dev space. We've got Gaurav and Glenn from the .NET team, and they have actually brought something really, really cool and very interesting. All right, major announcements around this fancy new thing called .NET Aspire. Gaurav, do you mind sharing with the audience what that is exactly?
Yeah, hey Donna, first of all, thank you for having us here.
Thank you.
It's been so energetic to go meet people, talk to, so many partners, customers, developers. So when we think about cloud native development, one of the things that we heard from a lot of developers was building cloud native applications is not easy. It is pretty complicated. So .NET Aspire is our opinionated stack that helps you build, distributed, cloud-ready, cloud-native applications.
Yes. Okay. So what's very interesting about this is devs have a lot of choices, too many choices, right? So say I want to build a cloud-native app.
Yeah.
What stack do you use? What language do you use? Also, you have to measure like cloudiness, right? Uptime, downtime, et cetera, et cetera. So how does Aspire tackle some of these challenges? Because that is the biggest issue being a dev. It's not just writing the code, it's all the shenanigans around it.
Yeah, so I think it's even worse, I think, than what you described, which is not only is it like picking a tech stack, but then within the stack, there's 5 ways of doing X and 3 ways of doing Y. And does XA work with YB or not? I have no idea. And so as we were preparing for Aspire, that was a big thing that people kept telling us. And so within Aspire, we have several pieces that make it up. One of them is components, Aspire components. And Aspire components are the idea of having a kind of a spec for what a good library for a dependency should do. It should set you up for resiliency, make sure you've got make sure you're doing logging properly, set up with OTel. And so effectively we've baked in a whole set of defaults, making your apps observable by default, giving you a set of options that you know are good, that you know work together, all that sort of stuff is how we've tried to tackle that problem.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah. Go ahead. No, thanks, Glenn. I think the thing I was about to add is if you abstract it to a higher level, what you could think about is, today if you look at the, cloud native landscape, developers have to pick and choose so many different components. They have to bring things together. They have to, spend so much energy working on the infrastructure, thinking about how do we pull. What we are trying to do is provide developers a set of tools and libraries that helps bring the defaults together for you to have very quick onboarding, right? So that's the place where we are starting, but we want to also make sure that we are giving developers the flexibility to edit things.
Okay, I like this because you're giving them a get started today in a box, but enough that they're not trapped into it. So they can adjust and make changes as they want based on the areas they care about.
That's correct.
Right, so I'll give you a real example where I actually want to use Aspire. So I'm building a travel agent, okay? An agent that books my travel for me, cool. Sounds great. What I don't want to do is deal with like observability. What is the uptime, I can't say the word uptime, of Azure at this moment, right? What is the resource allocation? So I want Aspire to do these things for me, but like testability, I would want to micromanage a bit because I want to make sure it's accessible, all of these things. So I feel like you've built something so interesting because it makes it easy for devs to get started, but still gives them all of that freedom. Was that one of your goals when you first started building this?
Yeah, absolutely. So we had a set of principles early on, and one of them was developer first. One of the things that happens is developer first and foremost, and it was almost the core of everything we did. Because often in this space, ops is such a big concern that it leaks into all of the dev tools and all of the ecosystem. And what we set out to say was like, okay, when I run my app, and I want to see a dashboard, I want to see all the metrics, I want to see the things I need as a person sitting at the keyboard to figure out what's wrong. What I don't need is like long-term monitoring, all of these things that the ops people need. And in fact, I kind of aggressively do not want to learn those things.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
And that's what we were focusing on from the very beginning.
Okay, I love that you said this because I love DevOps as much as the next person, but I am not a DevOps person. And I don't want to be a DevOps person, and I don't want to learn ops when I'm supposed to be a dev, right? So apparently you brought some sort of video that shows all these dashboards and charts and graphs and such and such.
Yeah, we should run it.
We should. Let's roll the video and take a look.
Let's see it.
.NET Aspire is designed to make building great cloud-native applications easier and more productive than ever, whether it's a single project or an entire distributed system with all of its services and dependencies running together. Here, I have a cache running in a container, an API service, and a front end all running on my local machine. Aspire orchestrates these all together, so I don't have to worry about spinning up multiple projects or the containers. It does it all for me from a single .NET-based project. The dashboard is a one-stop shop for all things app diagnostics, monitoring, and so much more, enabling me to inspect various states and statuses of my application. We enable health checks, telemetry, resiliency, all for you automatically with our service defaults. We can see that telemetry information is coming in here thanks to the Aspire components. And traces are a great way to pinpoint performance problems or failures, especially when they span multiple processes and machines. Additionally, service discovery built into Aspire converts user-friendly names into network addresses, so we handle everything for you. When you're ready to publish, you can right-click Publish, and it will automatically take your application, convert it to containers, and publish it directly to Azure Container Apps or other places that you want to deploy.
Okay, so I love that. And I have terrible shiny object syndrome, right? As we do all of us. So .NET Aspire, new shiny thing. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. I want to use this. How's this going to integrate with what I already use so my boss isn't like, what are you thinking? Introducing a new thing.
Yeah, so I think, Glenn talked about one part around our principles, which is like being developer-centric and starting for their problems. And the other big piece, in terms of thinking about the principles that we've applied is like, how can we make sure that developers can incrementally adopt the product that we are building? So with .NET Aspire, whether you are transforming an existing .NET application into being cloud ready, or you are building a net new application, whether you are, on Mac, on Linux, on Windows, you can apply it everywhere. Whether you are on Azure, whether you are on AWS or any other cloud, you can apply it. So for us, the biggest thing has been to give that choice to developers to meet where they are and make sure that the technology we are building is really incrementally adoptable.
I love how inclusive this is. I didn't know that this worked integrated with like AWS, GCP, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes,
Yeah.
the folks from AWS committed the code for AWS to the Aspire
Really?
repo, we worked on it together.
That's cool. Okay, that's new information.
Yeah.
So those companies, every company, I guess, is multi-cloud.
Yeah.
So they're going to be able to use this without it not just being for the Azure.NET code base, but for all of it.
That's correct.
Huh. That's very clever. Look at y'all.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Really, you've thought about lots of things. Okay, so today's build, what does the future look like? The next 3-6 months?
Yeah, so November,
Yes.
every November, new version of .NET comes out. So put that in your calendar. That'll be the next version of Aspire that comes out. And what we really want to do between now and then is it's not very long. We GA today at Build. And then, so between now and November, there is a mass of feedback
Yes.
that we
Yes.
want to desperately
love
hear
that.
and incorporate into what we then ship again in November as we figure out all of the things that we need to work on going forwards.
Okay, so between now and November, you're doing a giant co-creating activity.
Yeah.
You're saying, people, go try it, integrate into your environments, use it for real. Don't just
Yes.
use it for testing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Give them feedback because they're going to do the next rev based on your feedback.
That's right.
Yep.
That is absolutely correct.
That
we
is
want,
beautiful.
Yeah, we want because I think as we've been developing this, the basis of Aspire was learnings from a lot of Microsoft internal teams that we brought into the product and are now bringing to the community. And we really want to co-create and co-build with the community and get feedback.
Oh my gosh, I love this story so much.
Yeah.
This makes me so happy. Do you have homework for anyone?
So, yeah, go.
One thing from my side,
Yes.
if you are new, if you have not tried, go to aka.ms/AspireGA. That'll give you the information to get started. So please go check it out and give us feedback.
Yeah.
AK.ms, Aspire GA. Do the thing. Thank you. Thank
Thanks,
you.
all. Thanks, Dana.
Thank you.